everybody, this is Gordon and welcome back to Kitchen Quest. We're making a cobbler. Today we're going to use strawberries and blueberries, but you can really use any fruit you want. You can use apples or peaches. You just want to cook it down a little bit over medium heat with a little bit of butter. I started making the cobbler out of the box, but I figured I could do it just as easily and probably a little healthier with just some flour and sugar at home. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. So for the cobbler, we're going to need strawberries, blueberries, sugar, and raisins. For the topping, we're going to use flour and sugar, an egg, and some butter. Again, you can use any fruits you want. If you want to use apples, just cook them down a little bit first. So we're going to go ahead and cut the strawberries. First, we're going to cut the tops off, turn them sideways, cut them in half, and then into slices. Make them nice and bite-sized and so that there's as much surface as possible. We're going to go ahead and do that with the entire pound. This is probably going to take you a little while, so we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead to the end here. There we go, last strawberry. Once we get done cutting all the strawberries, we're going to take those and we're going to put them into a bowl. So we'll scrape them into just a plastic bowl, whatever you have laying around. And to that, we're going to add some sugar. This is about a 1/4 cup. Give it a nice toss, and we're going to let those drain of all the liquid from the strawberries. The sugar is going to pull all the liquid out, so we want to let it sit for at least an hour or so, 2 hours, sometimes overnight, however long you have. Now we're going to melt some butter in a frying pan. To that, we're going to add the juice from the strawberries. So just take a strainer, pour the strawberries over so we get just the juice. We save the strawberries for the next step. Give it a nice quick shake. And then we're going to add 1 package of the blueberries. So add that, we'll give it a quick stir. Let those come up to temperature a little bit. Then we're going to take a potato masher and we're going to go ahead and crush those down so we get all the juice out of the blueberries as well. We're going to want to make kind of a syrup here, almost a jam. We just want to make it a little bit thicker. So crush as many of those blueberries down as you can. After you can't use the potato masher anymore, we're just going to take our wooden spoon and we'll pat them down just a little bit more, try to get all the last ones broken up. We're going to let that reduce for about 3 or 4 minutes. Give it a quick stir. Pat it a little bit more. And then let's let it reduce. Now we're going to take all those strawberries and we're going to add the other container of blueberries to it. And we're going to add the raisins. And we're going to blend all that together. Just give it a nice mix. Once it's all nice and mixed, we're going to scoop it into a 13 by 9 glass baking dish. So we'll scoop it all into there, scrape it in, make sure we get all the last bits, and then we're going to go ahead and smooth it out. So it's nice and even. Nice and smooth, nice and level. And then we're going to make our toppings. So we're going to start with the flour. We're going to add the sugar. We'll give that a quick stir, blend it together with a fork. You don't want this to be blended in too well. You kind of want every bite to be a little bit different. So just give it a stir, stir it around. Then we're going to go ahead and crack 1 egg into that. So break the egg. Fancy with one hand if you can. And then we're going to scramble that egg into the flour and sugar mixture. You don't want to mix this in too much. You want it to be nice and crumbly. So just blend it all together. And once you have it kind of crumbled up like this, you've got some big chunks, you've got some little chunks. You've got some smooth flour and sugar there. We're going to go ahead and start spooning that over the top of the strawberries and the blueberries. Now we did go ahead and pour that jam jelly mixture over top of that before we added the crumb topping. And we're going to smooth the crumb topping All that juice is on the bottom now from the strawberries and the blueberries that we fried down in the pan. We sauteed down. Once this is nice and smooth, we're going to take the butter that we melted and we're just going to pour that over the top as evenly as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect though. And we're going to bake that. Now we're going to make our whipped cream. So we're going to use vanilla paste, heavy cream, and sugar. Just take the heavy cream, and I like to use my Ninja blender. So we'll add the heavy cream. Add some sugar. And a little bit of vanilla paste. I like using vanilla paste here because it's a little bit thicker. Go ahead and add that. And then we're going to blend it. So just go ahead and process it. Good time to do this is while the cobbler is in the oven baking, because you can make the whipped cream and stick it in the refrigerator and let it chill. So you want to have a nice thick consistency. You can see it's just like whipped cream that you'd buy. Only way better. This is very, very delicious. So now we're going to take the cobbler out. You can see it's nice and golden brown on top, nice and crisp, nice and bubbly. So we'll let that out, let the house smell like the strawberries and blueberries. If you have company, they're going to love it. We're going to let it cool for a little while. And then we're going to scoop it out. We'll drizzle it with some caramel syrup and a little bit of our whipped cream. And there you go, strawberry and blueberry cobbler from scratch. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.